Hi besties, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time of coming across any of our videos, thank you so much for stopping by. Please hit on the subscribe button right here and like my video. And to the returning subscribers, you are highly welcome. Now this video is about the making of this wrap top you see right here. Now if this sounds like something you are interested in, keep on watching and let's get started. Now the first thing I went ahead to do was to fold my fabric into two. This is the fabric I'll be using for the back of the top. So the length I have here was 19 inches, and for the breadth I divided my bust measurement into 4, then I added some inches to that. Now from this folded part, I'll go ahead to place the width of my neck, which is 3 inches. I want it to be 3 inches wide. Then still from that place, I'll go ahead to divide my shoulder measurements by 2, and that will give me 7.5 inches. I'll just go ahead to mark it just the way you see me doing. Now below the 7.5 inches I have as my shoulder line, I'll go down by 1 inch. This is for my shoulder slope. Then I'll go ahead to connect it to the 3 inches neck width I have here. Now I'm placing my tape right here. I'll go ahead to mark how deep I want my back neck area to be. I want it to be 1.5 inches deep. So I'll just go ahead to mark it and connect it to the 3 inches neck width we have here with a curve. Now the next thing I'll go ahead to do now is to get my armhole depth. Now to do that, I'll go ahead to divide my bust circumference by 6. Then I'll add 1.5 inches to that. Whenever I do that, I always have 7 inches. So I just go ahead to place my tape right on the shoulder slope and mark down to 7 inches. Then I'll go ahead to rule a line across just the way you see me doing. And this line is going to be our chest line. Now from this chest line, I'll rule a line to meet the shoulder slope just the way you see me doing. To get our armhole curve now, I will take the measurement I have here from the shoulder slope to the chest line. I'll divide it into 2 to get the midpoint, so just the way you see me doing. Then I'll mark it. And from this point I mark here, I will go in by 0.5 inch. After that, I'll go to my chest line now to place my bust measurement divided by 4 here. Just go ahead to connect these points together, this and this. I'll go ahead to connect it with a curve just the way you see me doing. Now coming to the waistline, I'll go ahead to divide my waist circumference by 4. I have 7.25 inches, and you know this top will not be having a dart because it's a wrapping top, so I'll just go ahead to add 1 inch for my seam allowance. Then I'll also add 1 inch to the chest line. Then I'll connect it to meet the waistline I have here. Now after this, the next thing is to bring my scissors and cut it out. Now after cutting it out, this is how it is. Now this is what I'll be using to cut the front piece. Now I went ahead to place it 6 inches away from the center front. As you see, I'll just go ahead to trim the other side off so that it will be easier to work on. Now after I was done trimming it out, this is how it looked like. Now from the waistline here, I'll come up by 2.5 inches. I'll come up by 2.5 inches from the waistline, just the way you see me doing. Then here on the shoulder line, I will come down by 6 inches. This one depends on how deep you want your neckline, your front neck to be. If you want it to be too revealing, you can go down by as much inches as you want. Now just go ahead to fold in this part just the way you see me doing. Now I'll use my chalk to connect from the neckline to meet that 6 inches. After doing that, I'll just take it to that 2.5 inches I marked on the waistline earlier. I'll just go ahead to connect it with a slant line like this. Then I'll go ahead to cut it out. Now I'll just go ahead to open it up so that you see how it's looking. You can see the wrapping effect. Now I'll just place them right side facing each other this way. Then I'll take it over to the sewing machine to secure the shoulder. Now as you can see, I've gone ahead to stitch on the shoulder line. As you see, I'll just go ahead to trim off these little threads I have here. Now after this, I'll just go ahead to bring my bias tape to secure the neck area. You can go ahead to fold it in if you don't have a bias. Now I'll just do this and bring it back for us to see. This is it when I was done piping the neck area. I believe you can see what we have here. Now I'll go ahead to arrange this to the wrong side. Now I'm coming to the waistline of either of the sides. You can decide any side you want it to be. I'll go up by 2 inches. Yes, I'll go up by 2 inches. Then from that 2 inches, I'll go up again by 2 inches. Then I'll mark it. I went up by 2 inches. Then from that 2 inches, I went up again by 2 inches. Now I'll just go ahead to use the 1 inch seam allowance I gave earlier to shape the sides. Now I will not be stitching on this 2 inches gap that I have here. I'll take this over to the sewing machine now to secure the sides and the hem of the top. Now this is how it looked like when I was done shaping it. You can see how it's coming out. You can also see the gap I left here earlier. This is where one of the rope will be passing through. Now for the sleeve, I want the length of my sleeve to be 23 inches. So I'll be attaching a band of 3 inches. Here I have 21 inch. So after everything, after attaching the band to it, I'll be having at least 23 inches in total, and the wideness is 10 inches. Now from here I'll come down by 4 inches for my biceps. Then I'll go ahead to rule a line across just the way you see me doing. Now from here I'll come down with a curve to meet this bicep line I have. Now divide my upper arm measurement by 2, and that gave me 8 inches. So I'll just go ahead to add 1 inch to that, making it 9 inches for my seam allowance. Now I'll go ahead to roll down a straight line to the end of the sleeve.
So then, why?
Now I'll just go ahead to cut this out with my scissors. Now what I have left here, I have 9.5 inches. Now just go ahead to open this up, take it over to my sewing machine to pass a loose stitch in this side. I'll do it for both sleeves. Now as you can see, I've gone ahead to do that for the both sleeve. I also went ahead to cut out the 3 inches band that I said we'll be using at the wrist. I used my round wrist to cut it out. Now I'll go ahead to pull on one of the thread to achieve my gather. Then after that, I'll just go ahead to use my tape to check if it's up to the number of inches I want it to be. If it's not up to, I'll go ahead to adjust it to meet the number of inches I want. I'll go ahead to repeat the same thing for the other sleeve. Now after that, I'll just go ahead to attach the main sleeve to the 3 inches band I have here. I'll do the same thing for the other sleeve as well. Now after attaching the sleeve to the band, you can see how it came out. Now I'll just go ahead to use one stitch to shape the sleeve, then I'll attach it to the top. I have done that. I'll just go ahead to turn this to the right side now so that we'll see how it came out. You can see how it came out, right? Now the next thing I went ahead to do was to cut out 2 bands. I have the short one and the long one. Now I'll go ahead to attach the long one on this side going towards that opening. Now for the short one, I'll attach it on this other side. Now I'll do this on my sewing machine and bring it back for us to see. Now this is it when I was done attaching my band. You can see how it came out. Now just go ahead to pass it through this opening and tie it to my choice. You can see how it came out. Now with this, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. See you in my next one. Bye.